This is part 3 in the fourth turning series, or whatever it is. The new mood and its jarring new problems will provide a natural endpoint for the unraveling era decline in civic confidence. In the pre-crisis years, fears about the flimsiness in the social contract will have been subliminal but rising. As the crisis catalyzes, these fears will rush to the surface, jagged and exposed. Distrustful of things, individuals will fear that their survival requires them to distrust more things. This behavior could cascade into a sudden downward spiral, an implosion of social trust. Aggressive individualism, institutional decay, and long-term pessimism can only proceed so far before society loses the level of dependency needed to sustain the division of labor and long-term promises on which the market economy must rest. Throughout the unraveling, people will have preferred, or at least tolerated, the exciting if bewildering trend towards social complexity. But as the crisis mood congeals, people will come to the jarring realization that they have grown helplessly dependent on a teetering edifice of anonymous transactions and paper guarantees. Many Americans won't know where their savings are, who their employer is, what their pension is, or how the government works. The era will have left the financial world arbitraged and tentacled. Debtors won't know who holds their notes, homeowners who owns their mortgages, and shareholders who runs their equities, and vice versa. At the same time, each generation's approach to this new phase of life will set off loud economic alarms, reminding people how weakly their unraveling era nation prepared for the future. The boomers' age will loom, exposing the thinness of private savings and the unsustainability of public promises. The 13ers, Strauss and Howell's term for Gen X, will reach their make or break peak earning years, realizing at last that they can all be lucky exceptions to their staggering average income. Millennials will come of age, facing debts, tax burdens, and a two-tier wage structures. As all these generations enter their crisis constellation, the unraveling will have left the government so fiscally overcommitted to sustaining everyone's expectations that initial official responses of these new concerns will lack credibility. Subliminal fears will now become urgent. The unraveling era's wry acceptance that people might never get much back from Social Security will crystallize into a jolting new fear that everything from treasury bills to remortgage instruments to mutual funds will become just a subject. Before long, America's old civil order will seem ruined beyond repair. People will feel like a magnet has passed over society's disk drive, blanking out the social contract, wiping out old deals, clearing the books of vast unpayable promises to which people once felt entitled. The economy could reach a trough that may look to be the start of a depression. With American weakness newly exposed, foreign dangers could erupt. From these dangers, the makings of a new social contract and new civil order will arise. This will lead to conflict, as people do battle to establish where, how, and by whom authority is to be exercised. This battle could be peaceful, involving This battle could be peaceful, involving political processes, or violent, involving public and private militias. Public needs will assume a new shape of urgency. Old political alliances will be broken and new ones forged, and debates will commence on laws that radically shift the balance between individual rights and duties. National issues will break clear of the unraveling era circus and cast a clear and immediate shadow over the everyday shape of American life. The unraveling area culture warriors will no longer be attacking national institutions, mostly from the outside. Come the fourth turning, they'll be fully in charge. Soon after the catalyst, a national election will produce a sweeping political realignment. As one faction or coalition capitalizes on a new public demand for decisive action, Republicans, Democrats, or perhaps a new party will decisively win the long partisan tug of war, ending the era of split government that had lasted through 4 decades of awakening and unraveling. The winners will now have the power to pursue the more potent, less incremental agenda on which they had long dreamed, in which their adversaries had darkly warned. So I'll read that again because I kind of mumbled through it. The winners will now have power to pursue the more potent and less incremental agenda about which they had long dreamed and which their adversaries had darkly warned. I'm going to end this one here and continue later on.